What I will not tolerate is selfish criminality that we saw last night. That's absolutely, totally unacceptable, whether it be our police vehicles being damaged, our officers being assaulted. We will make sure that those people feel the full force of the law.
This is the police spokesman talking about the riots last night that were sparked by the migrant attack. It seems they have learned nothing, and it seems they are already brushing the whole issue under the carpet. This is what the local councillor had to say.
Good afternoon. The tensions are still very present within the town. There's still concerns, and I think they will be until this hotel actually gets closed for the use of this purpose. But certainly at the moment, there's still tensions in the town, and I think people are quite shocked by what happened last night.
You have said on the record that our warnings have been ignored for too long. Just for our viewers' benefit, what have you been warning to whom and for how long?
Well, we were very clear to the Home Office that we didn't feel this was the correct location for this type of facility, primarily because of its location within the town, the lack of the infrastructure that was needed for this type of facility. And we were concerned both for the residents who would be in the hotel and the residents of Epping.
Obviously, any acts of violence should be condemned. People should never attack anyone, including the police. But the police acting like this last night can't have helped matters.
Why are you introducing?
They're already framing it as organised far-right groups from outside the town coming into the area to stir up trouble. He also said we don't want these people in our community. Fine. And they said they want to protect all residents of the community, though they seem totally fine with Ethiopian men who entered the country illegally who attack young girls being housed in the community. What about the police protecting the locals from these illegal immigrants who were forced into their community? It's all good arresting the man after the attack. He came here with no documents. We know absolutely nothing about them, yet he goes straight into the community at the taxpayers' expense. The police should complain to the government about the use of these migrant hotels. If that issue was addressed, there wouldn't be these awful scenes of unrest in the first place, like the councillor said. Just listen to this police interview.
Assistant Chief Constable Stuart Hooper gave this update a short while ago.
What I will not tolerate is selfish criminality that we saw last night. That's absolutely, totally unacceptable, whether it be our police vehicles being damaged, our officers being assaulted. We will make sure that those people feel the full force of the law. There were different groups out protesting last night. It is our place to make sure that without fear or favour we're supporting the right to protest, and that's what we tried to achieve last night. 8 of my officers, and not only my officers, we were supported from colleagues from other forces as well, were assaulted last night. And that is absolutely, totally unacceptable. They come here to do a role, to support our communities. They're a part of that community, and that's what we won't tolerate. They had injuries to their hands and cuts and grazes as a result of the incidents last night. Well, look, the first bit is I'm focused on our communities here, and we want to make sure that kind of everyone is safe. We will not accept that kind of selfish vandalism that we saw last night. I want to be working with our communities. If you are coming to Essex and Epping to take part in that sort of criminality, that is absolutely not acceptable. But working with the rest of our community to make sure your voice is being heard. And I do not want to see a repeat of last night, or in fact anything that we saw last year. So it was during the peaceful process. There were parts of those that had come here intentionally to be involved in that kind of selfish vandalism and violence. And actually it's those individuals that we don't want coming into our community. So there were 2 arrests last night. One of those arrests was linked to an incident that occurred on Sunday, as you say, has been arrested and is part of the criminal justice process. The second individual was arrested last night for failing to comply with the orders that were given around disperse and are currently in custody. The individual that was arrested from the fray has been charged and is subject to court processes. And